sun had barely climbed over the horizon when Samuel Price stepped into the chill morning air. His boots, patched and worn, crunched over frost-kissed grass. The land stretched out before him, 40 acres that had once been fertile and rich, now tired and stubborn, like an old mule that refused to work. He had farmed this soil all his life, as had his father and his father's father before him. But times had changed. Prices for corn were low, the rains had been unpredictable, and the bank's letters were coming more frequently, each one colder than the last. Samuel's wife, Mary, had suggested selling a portion of the land to pay down the debt. He had shaken his head at that, not out of pride, but because it felt like selling a piece of his own body. Land was more than dirt. It was history, memory, and promise all tangled together. That morning, Samuel hitched up the old tractor. It coughed and sputtered, but finally roared to life. He made slow passes over the field, turning over soil that was hard as baked clay. His dog, Jasper, trotted alongside, chasing imaginary threats. At noon, Samuel sat on the edge of the field with a jar of black coffee and a sandwich Mary had packed. The wind tugged at his worn coat. From the road, a shiny pickup rolled to a stop. Out stepped a man in a crisp jacket, carrying a clipboard. "Mr. Price," the man said, tipping his hat slightly. "I'm here about the letter we sent. You've got 30 days before foreclosure proceedings." Samuel nodded slowly. "I'll have something for you." He didn't know if it was a promise or a prayer. That night, Samuel and Mary sat at the kitchen table under the dim light of a single bulb. Mary's hands were clasped, her eyes tired but searching his. "Sam," she whispered, "maybe it's time." He stared at his calloused palms. "If I give it up, what am I?" In the days that followed, Samuel worked from before dawn to well after dark. He repaired fences, sold the old hay baler for scrap, and even took odd jobs in town. But it wasn't enough. On the 30th day, he rose before the first light, walked the length of his fields, and stopped at the far corner, the acre his father had once told him was the best soil on the farm. He dug his hands into the earth, feeling its cool weight. He could almost hear his father's voice. "The land will take care of you if you take care of it." That afternoon, Samuel drove into town with a burlap sack in the back of his truck. Inside was a bushel of heirloom corn seed he had been saving for years. He sold it to a farmer 3 counties over, enough to make a partial payment.